back in phase 1 training, my sergeant actually saved my life. He's fixed and saved my military career before it even began. And this is a story about what happened. Follow along. So for those who don't know me, my name is King Sloth. I was in the British Army for just under 7 years before transferring across to the Royal Air Force, where I still currently serve. I do video logs related to the military and also do military action videos. I aim to do 3 times a week. And this story, not gonna lie, is a pretty wild one, and still now to this day, it terrifies me how I almost died. Like, this is no joke. I almost had my life ended in phase 1 training. So, about 6 weeks into phase 1 training, or 7 weeks, you go on to your range week. We do a week literally every single day. Get up, get your rifle, you get to the range, you spend literally all day there. And you do that for the entire week to perfect your shot, get better, pass your firing tests. And I wasn't the most confident person for firing when I was like first year in training. Obviously something new, I'd never fired a rifle before. So I had to concentrate on exactly what I was doing, every hand movement, every position. I had to focus entirely on what I was doing, as well as what the directing staff were telling me to, so the corporals and sergeants. We went onto the range first day, and it was like only basic like 25 metres, so it's not that bad. Then you got up to 100, and you got to 200 metres. So for me, I actually did pretty well on 200 metres, which was a bit of a mad one. Normally it's like you do really good at 100 or 200. I was good at 200 metres for some reason, which was pretty pretty weird considering I'd never fired a rifle before. And my corporal was open saying like, you're really good mate, just keep focusing on what you're doing, which is completely fine. So this brings me on to how I almost died, and how my sergeant, who was a para, he actually saved my life. And without him, I would have took a lovely round through the temple. Not gonna lie, because there was a round that went off. Actually, yeah, there was like, only a single round went off, but it almost ended my life. So we had this lad. I've said his name before in videos, so I'll say it again. His name was McLaughlin, and I've mentioned this before. He's no longer in the military. He actually didn't get out of phase 1 training. This dude was a liability, but he was known for being just awful on the ranges. He was awful in the field, awful in the block. This dude he could not get a grip of being in the military. He just couldn't listen. He thought he knew best, and so on and so forth. Like, he was just he was a creature. I'm not gonna lie, probably one of the worst soldiers I've ever worked with, and I don't even know how he got into training, to be honest. It was one of them situations where I'm like, how are you even here? But he was part of my range detail. So you go up in like groups of, I believe, 8 to up to the firing point, and you all fire your targets to get it done. But you literally get told every single instruction what you have to do by your corporal and directing staff. So just putting it out there, how this McLaughlin should have struck fear into me on the first day. One of the things you do before you fire is you check what setting your rifle is on. Is it on single fire or is it on automatic? So automatic, for those who don't know, that will fire off like 30 rounds out your magazine really, really quickly, like abnormally fast. And this dude decided, literally first day, first range, first firer. Right, we're going to zero your target, so pretty much you fire off a couple of rounds, and you work out any settings on your like sight that you need to change to make sure you're aiming dead on centre. This bloke hadn't checked his rifle, or he must have been playing about it beforehand, and he had the rifle set to automatic. That scared the hell out of me, because when you're expecting like a couple of pops to go off and then nothing, this was like you can hear it. It's loud as anything, Oh my god! And literally, it was like, who's firing? Who the fuck? You always see the corporals come down, sergeants come down. I was like, oh my god! I'm panicking, thinking I'd done it. But I looked, I was like, no, I've still got rounds to go. I'm all set, me. Let's get it. And obviously, then he got beasted, got retrained on some things, and then he was back in the firing range literally within like 2 hours. So he's back. The believe they sorted out the issue. That was fine. Second issue that occurred, this bloke then was firing on the wrong target. So like, you're aiming straight ahead, this dude was firing like 3 targets across. He could not get a grip of what he was doing. Then it got to the last day. This is like when you do your actual like, test phase and things, with actually marking it out and see if you can pass that range week or not. So we got up to the range, and this dude was to the left of me, if I remember. So you had like McLaughlin, me, then you had the rest of the section. McLaughlin did the first fire fine, the prone one completely fine, and when he got to the standing unsupported position, this dude he'd fired off 2 rounds and then decided he tried to stand up, spin round, and he was pissing out. Obviously, I didn't realise this. He was pissing out the rifle, but all I felt was my sergeant jump on my fucking back, slam me to the floor. I'm like, whoa, what have I done? What's going on? And as he did that, the round went straight over the top. This dude was messing about. It said he was practicing drills while on the firing line, and this round went. It literally, my sergeant was like, that went where your head was. Like, he literally pinned me down. I was like, you okay, mate? I was like, I don't know what's happened. My ear defence is in. All I know is that you've jumped on me back and I'm in pain. What the fuck's going on? And next thing you see is all the corporals, all the sergeant, mate, screaming. Fucking screaming at this dude. He's like, what have I done? He didn't see any issue with it because he didn't hit me. But if my sergeant hadn't jumped on my back, that would have been me, like an index, done. Like, this dude, this is what I mean by the dude was clueless. You've got sergeants and corporals screaming at you saying like, you've just fucking done this, what is wrong with you? And then like, the dude got beasted. I think he only got back coursed, I believe. He got back coursed. I think he actually got kicked out then. I think he did something similar on the range packet on his new course. I remember all this. He got allowed to go back into like retrain. That shit weren't just like a little mistake. Maybe he just needed more time to focus on doing his drills. No, this dude did something very similar. He had his rifle on automatic again and fired 30 rounds at 200 metres on automatic. The dude was an absolute creature. But I remember just getting back to the block and being like, everyone in my section was like, "You're right." I'm like, I almost died. I almost lost my life today, and I haven't even finished training. And literally, McLaughlin, he was still in the block with us. And I remember he came up to me in the section, he was like, "Oh, I've been told to come say sorry." And in my head, I think I was a bit like, still confused what had gone on. He's like, "I've been told to come say sorry to you, and I've got a report to the CO in the morning." I was like, I didn't really know what's happened. And obviously, he explained to me what he was doing. In my head, he was giving the reason he gave was, he was doing his drills. He said he was doing an unload while he weren't told to unload and didn't clear the round. So pretty much that then fired off the round. So yeah, it was a really shit situation. I felt sorry for the bloke because I know how much he wanted to be in the military, but for the way this dude acted for his whole military career, he didn't belong in the military. I'm sorry, he didn't, and he's not now. He works in a factory job down near Cornwall. So I still kept in touch with him every now and then. But I remember just being really confused, and my sergeant was like, "We can have him in the section room if you like, or we can have him go somewhere else." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, if that was fucking me, he shot around near my head, I'd want to fill him in." I was there like, "No, well," I kept saying like, "It's an accident." He's like, "Yeah, but it's not an accident. It's him being a Hmong, which has caused you to almost lose your life." I'm like, you raise a really valid point, but I can already see how upset this kid is, how worried this dude is. Like, he felt so bad. He was like, "Mate, I'm sorry." Like, he was almost in tears speaking to me, and I was just like, "Mate, these things happen. Just make sure it doesn't happen again, because if it goes near my head and you fucking kill me, I'm gonna haunt you for the rest of your life, and my family will find where you live." Do you know what I mean? But I literally remember being just like, not scared, but just confused about what had gone on. And even my sergeant, power sergeant, was like, "How did you not see? He was spinning round." And I was like, "Not gonna lie, I'm focused on my target, and I focus on what the director staff are saying. That's it. I'm not focused on anyone else around me. And he openly said, he's like, mate, you need to start focusing on other, like, peripheral focus. I'm not, well, I didn't think about it, did I? I thought we were overtraining. Come on, what's going on? But yeah, I almost died if I was on training, but luckily I didn't. And now you see videos of me talking about it. It's been King Sloth. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all hopefully in my next eventful story.